Councillor Tony Durcan, defending your seat, Harlow West, Essex County Council. Last 4 years, what do you think you've achieved over there in Chelmsford?
Well, both personally and collectively with Karen Klempner, I think we've actually achieved some success. Certainly with the Highways panel, we've been able to put a lot of influence on that, and actually the Highways panel in Harlow is one of the best run ones in the whole of Essex, so that's good news. We've managed to get more new bus stops and drop curbs, which actually helps the local people. Clearly there's lots of things that we haven't achieved, which we'll come on to, but also we've had County Council brought to account regarding Acacia House, the eviction of young people, children's centres, even we've had an argument with the Police and Crime Commissioner about the number of PCOs. So we've done some, not everything, but when you're in opposition you just have to take your opportunities when you can.
And is it quite frustrating, as you say opposition, but you're pretty much dominated by the Conservatives, is it quite frustrating in that way?
On one level it is frustrating, but on another way it's a unique opportunity, because when we're at full council or we're at any other committees and stuff, we're not whipped by the Conservatives, so clearly we have got an open agenda, but what we need to do is choose our moments, choose our targets, what is the priorities for Harlow, concentrate on those and make every effort to achieve them.
One particular committee that I believe you're on is regarding health and regarding the place that's just behind you here, Princess Alexandra. In 2017, where are we with this hospital, and what can you, if you get returned, can contribute to promoting this hospital?
I think the next 4 years is critical for Harlow, and one of the very issues is the building behind us. We have got to make a decision about the future of this building. We've already heard the chief executive or the ex-chief executive saying what will happen if we do nothing. So doing nothing is not an option, and that's why I think it's really important that Essex County Council, Harlow District Council, all the other councils and the trust come together to come up with a local plan and a local solution. It's there, but actually if we can get the momentum, we can make it work.
Were you quite surprised how candid Phil Morley was in what was more or less his exit interview at your committee?
Certainly I was surprised, but actually not disappointed, because actually it is a real shame that for a couple of years he didn't say that publicly, whereas actually he could have said it publicly and it could have made a difference. So it is, I wasn't surprised about how he was saying it. He was a very angry man, he was disappointed, and let's be honest, he was sacked from his job.
Next 4 years then, if you are returned, what would you look forward to doing?
Well, I think there's about 4 key priorities. The first one, of course, everybody talks about is potholes. We've got to sort that mess out, but it's not just about the potholes, it's actually the pavements that we're walking on, and it's the verges. Just as many complaints come in about curbs than they do about potholes, but they never get recorded or they never get dealt with. And I actually think from a solution-based approach, the easiest thing to do, like we've had limited success with the Highways panel, draw that down to a local level, give us local accountability, give us the responsibility of organising what we view as the priorities, and I think that would make it better for Harlow and the residents, and as well as the drivers. I think the second issue, which you've already mentioned, is around health and social care. The fundamental problem we've got is currently in that building behind us, 2 wards are full of people who can't escape. They didn't want to get in there in the first place, but now they can't get out. And the reason why we can't do that is that social provision isn't there. We've seen it being decimated by the Tories, and I know Councillor Klempner, Councillor Danvers and others have been campaigning long and hard to try to make that difference. And I think with the new strategic transformation programme that they're talking about, that could provide us with a bit of devolution, a real unique opportunity of bringing those 2 commissioning agents together and to make that difference. I think the third one is around crime and the sense of crime, and we've really seen over the last 2 years the mistake the Tories made and the Police and Crime Commissioner by doing away with PCSOs. And I genuinely do believe that we need to get together in the same way we did with street lights, is come together with a local solution that enables us either to have our own dedicated Harlow PCSOs or come into some sort of partnership similar to what Uttlesford was. And of course the final one, and the big one for my ward in Harlow West, which is me and Karen Clampton have been fighting around, is the local plan. Because we know that within the next 4 years there will be growth and there will be development on the periphery of Harlow West, and we need to have that assurance about the impact of the infrastructure. Now, when I was in council 6 months ago, I went into the chamber and was willing to vote in one way, which was to support the local plan. But because of the articulate and intelligent debate that took place, I voted against it. Now, I was criticised at that particular point, but actually what it allowed us to do is go back to Essex County Council and say we need further assurances. And what those assurances mean is that Riddings Lane, Fernhill Lane, and more importantly, Sumners will not be access points in and out of those new estates. And I think that is the power of both having a county councillor and a local councillor truly representing the people of Harlow West.